If you've been following my channel at all, I've talked about my raspberry patch being overgrown for a while now, and it's needed some pruning, and today is the day. We're gonna be building a trellis, transplanting some live ones to behind my greenhouse, and pruning the dead ones out as we go. All of the materials for the trellis and the raised beds that we're making come from trees that have fallen down in our woods behind us. All right, we're making good progress out here. I got everything transplanted into our new raspberry patch that we're making. So I built these trellises here, got them all filled up. I'm gonna put another trellis on the back side, but I'll do that later. That's all good for now. Moving on to our current raspberry patch. We got everything in front here kind of cleaned up, everything pruned out. We can finally see the raised beds that were in front of these, in front of the original raspberries we planted in here. They just got overtaken this past couple years. So the next step is we're gonna get into these beds full of raspberries and prune out all the dead ones. The variety of raspberries we have sends out a primocane the first year, which turns into a floricane, which fruits the next year. So we're gonna go through and take out all the ones that fruited already and then get everything else trellised. It's pretty easy to tell which ones already fruited and are dying off. They turn into this dark brown. So we're gonna go through, get all these cleaned up and start digging holes for the trellis. All right, the first side of the trellis is done. I gotta get some more Y branches from our woods here to finish up the rest. The top of this tree got sheared off in our last tornado. So I'm gonna fell it, turn it into a raised bed or a trellis. All right, I'm all done with the raspberries. It took a little bit longer than I was expecting, but I'm glad I'm done with them. This was long overdue. Ever since I planted these things a couple years ago, I was saying I had to get them trellised and build a trellis for them, and it just kept getting put off, and they just kept expanding and expanding. So I got them cut back. I got a trellis built for all of my raspberries. I built a new raspberry patch over here behind my greenhouse. Got that all trellised. I'm excited to watch all of my trellised areas fill in the patches in the middle. I think they were having trouble getting sunlight this past year with how thick and tall all of these canes were in front. It'll be really cool to watch these all fill in, and I tied up some of the canes already on the ends, but I'm gonna go through and tie up everything and just kind of keep this thing organized and neat as it keeps growing and filling in. And it should be a lot easier to harvest these raspberries going forward. This year it was crazy to get in here. I had to get scraped up pretty much every time, going through all the thorns. And I had to just dig in through this whole patch to get any berries, and I just don't think they were getting the sun that they need. So this is gonna be a lot healthier patch, a lot easier to manage, and it should be able to grow pretty fast now. We had these beds that we built right next to our raspberries and behind them, and we took the boards apart where they're drying off in our barn right now. We're probably going to use those for melon beds next year down in our garden. So overall, it was a good few days of work to get this all done, but I'm really glad I got them done now. If you're thinking about planting these sort of raspberries, I would suggest getting a trellis built ASAP. It's just something that I kept putting off until it was too late, and then now I had to get in here, spend a lot of time getting these all cleaned up, but if you can do it right away, it'd be a lot better for the long run. But yeah, that's about it for the raspberries. I'm gonna get in here and tie all of the canes to the trellis, get them all neat and organized, but I'm gonna get everything else done. I have a lot to do before winter comes, and that is a task that can be done when it's cold out.